How to develop your musical ear. First, let's test if you have an ear for music. Now you will hear two sounds. Try to determine which one is higher and which is lower. One of these sounds was higher, the other lower. Which one was the first, the lower or the higher? Let's listen one more time. Did you decide which sound was the first, the lower or the higher? And now the correct answer. The first is lower, the second is higher. If you gave the same answer, it means you have a basic ear for music. So you can develop it and acquire a keen musical ear. Having a keen musical ear means that not only can you determine if one sound is higher or lower than another, but also recognize how much exactly one sound is higher or lower. Musical sound is the sound of a stretched string. When a stretched string is plucked, it starts to vibrate, to move in a circle. Here's one circle. Here's another one. A third one. And so on. The faster a string vibrates, the more circles it makes per second, the higher sound we hear. This is called the frequency of sound, or pitch. Why these specific numbers were selected as guitar strings frequencies? Because 82.41 is approximately 3/4 of 110. "110, in its turn, is about 3/4 of 146.83. 146.83 is roughly 3/4 of 195.99. 246.94 is around 3/4 of 329.63. And 82.41 is exactly 1/4 of 329.63. Here's a chart of all music notes and their frequencies. All notes obey the basic law of music, which states that every fifth note is almost 1.33 times higher, every seventh note is almost 1.5 times higher, and every 12th note is exactly 2 times higher. Let's take one note we already know, a guitar's lowest note, 82.41 vibrations per second. Now let's count 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 110, which is approximately 1.33 of 82.41. Now let's count 2 more notes. 6, 7. We got the number which is roughly 1.5 of 82.41. Now let's continue counting to 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got the number which is exactly twice as much as 82.41. These rules work for any note. You can grab a calculator and check it out for yourself. These 3 rules apply to any of the music notes. When one note is exactly 2 times higher than another, they say this is the same note, but an octave higher. So basically, there are only 12 notes. Any other note is one of these 12 notes multiplied by 2, 1 or more times. Or in other words, 1 or several octaves higher. Our ear training app is called Stolbitsa. It has 12 difficulty levels, corresponding with the number of notes. You learn one note at each level. Each note has a specific color and width. On the first 3 levels, we will be learning the basic law of music. You will learn to distinguish by ear when one note is 2 times higher than another, when it's 1.5 times higher, and when it's 1 1/3 times higher. The first level is very easy. First, you are given the widest note as a reference. The widest note is called the tonic. This is the main note, the center of any melody. That's why it's the widest. It's always given as a reference, and we compare all other notes to the tonic. Then goes the question. On the first difficulty level, there are only 2 choices. You must determine if the note you hear is the tonic or the tonic 1 octave above, that is 2 times higher. To access this lesson, select Open Lesson from the left menu. Then type Author, Stolbitsa, Repository Name, Tonic. There are even easier lessons on the first level of difficulty. Now type Author, Stolbitsa, Repository Name, _hast. Here's the lesson statistics. The level of difficulty is 1. In this lesson, you will have to guess 80 notes, divided into 11 exercises. Here's your personal statistics regarding this lesson. How many times you played it, and how many points you earned. Now let's press the play button. In the top left corner, you can see info about this exercise. This is exercise number 1 out of 11. The tonic in this exercise is E. Any note can be the tonic, and it can be different in each exercise. Now let's input the answer. Then you can check the result.
Du hast mich.
Now the arrow button has appeared in the bottom left corner, so that you can move on to the next exercise.
Du hast mich.
Now it's exercise number 2. The tonic is still E.
Du hast mich. Du
Let's fast forward to the last exercise in this lesson.
Du hast mich gefragt und ich hab nichts gesagt.
If you make no mistakes, you receive 3 silver notes as a reward. If you like the lesson, you can star it, give it some points, and leave a comment. If you like our app, you can send us a tip. The second level of difficulty is much harder. On this level, the second note is added, which is called the dominant. It's the second note in importance. Type Stolbitsa, dominant. This lesson's difficulty level is 2.
Wise men say wise men say take my hand. Take my hand.
On the 6th difficulty level, lessons can be really hard. Type Stolbitsa, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. How I wonder what you are.
On the 9th level, they can be even harder. Type Stolbitsa, lean-on. Anybody can achieve this level of difficulty if you start practicing every day. Then, in about 5 or 10 years, you'll become an expert. This means I started practicing 166 days ago. And during last 99 days I didn't miss a single day. If you click your avatar, you go to your personal page. This table shows how many points you earned at each difficulty level for all the time since you started practicing. This is a chart showing how many points you earned at each level over the past 2 weeks. This is your history over the past 2 weeks. Here's the time you played a lesson, and how many silver notes you earned that time. The chart and history are only visible to you. This table is public. Now let's dive deeper into lesson structure. This is the username of the lesson's author. This is the lesson's name. They correspond to the URL of the page. They are what you type in the open lesson dialog. This is lesson's latest version number and its release date. This is the license of this lesson. This is the lesson source code. The source code is hosted on GitHub platform. In order to use our app, you will need a GitHub account. Registration is free. Only an email address is required. The same principle of username and repository name applies here. You can easily create your own lesson. The easiest way is just to add videos to an existing lesson. Every lesson has an edit button. This lesson has 12 exercises. You can see them after you press the edit button. Here they are, all 12 of them. Some exercises have videos. Some don't. So let's add a video to an exercise that doesn't have one. First, let's find a video. And download it. Now open it in a video editor. We won't need the whole video, just a little part of it. About 2 seconds. Now let's save selection as file. Let's check file size of the resulting video. The file's too big. The maximum size is 2 megabytes. Let's make it smaller by reducing the quality. Now the file size is okay. Let's add it to an exercise. Without a video, the exercise looks like this. Let's add the video. You can adjust video volume. Now the exercise looks like this. Let's publish the lesson. If you visit your GitHub profile page, you'll see that you don't have any public repositories yet. After you press the Publish button, you have to enter repository name. Let's call this lesson first. We are publishing the initial version of the lesson. You can leave the description blank, or you may write something. If you visit your GitHub profile again, you'll now see that you have one public repository. And now you have one lesson on your profile page. Let's change the cover image. First, press the source code button, and then the edit button. Now drag the image and drop it here. Then copy the resulting text. Then press the settings button and paste the text into the short description field. Now let's fill the long description and paste in there the image too. You may recommend a lesson to play after yours. Then you must select a license for your lesson. You may select Creative Commons 0 Universal License or WTF Public License. Or you may enter any license you want. Now let's publish the changes. Previous version was 100. Now we're publishing version 101. You can see that the level description has changed now. And the cover image has also changed. However, this new lesson is only visible to you so far. Lessons having 0 silver notes are not listed on the main page and are only visible to their creators. To make it publicly available, just give it at least 1 silver note. The more silver notes a lesson has received, the higher it is in the list by popularity. Now you can see your lesson on the main page. And now you can also open it via the Open Lesson dialog. This is the easiest way of creating a lesson. In the next videos, we'll tell you about more advanced ways to do that, about various ear training techniques, and about music in general. Subscribe to the channel and start using our app every day. Just a couple of minutes a day is enough to develop a keen ear for music if you practice for several years. All you need to do is visit our website, stolbitsa.com, and start playing now.